Hello everybody, Plato here, and bringing you a quick and to the point update for our Mage build. So yesterday, patch 1.03 released, links down in the description below for that patch if you want more information on what changed. But the biggest change for our build was that Royal Knight's Resolve and Determination has been patched, so it is no longer bugged and will not amplify our spells. That being said, I still recommend that everybody take a look at the original build video, because for 90% of it, other than the changes I'm going to mention here, it is still applicable, so links down below to that as well, please check it out. Now, we haven't changed much with our build, however, we are now replacing Royal Knight's Resolve or Determination with a new Ash of War called Golden Vow, and I'll be showing you at the end of the video where you can obtain this as well. So, Golden Vow is going to be our next go-to, as it provides about a 10 to 12% buff for our spell damage, as well as adding 7.5 with diminishing returns to our damage negations, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But, as you can see here, Golden Vow costs 40 FP, as opposed to Determination costing 10, and Royal Knight's Resolve costing 15, so you may be wondering, is 40 FP really worth that, 10 to 12% in damage, and that damage negation as well? Well, it is, because for the FP cost of 40, this buff will actually apply to you for 45 seconds. So once you go ahead and apply the Golden Vow buff, which will benefit your summons as well as your teammates in cooperative play, you can swap to your Moonveil Katana and then also get that same damage bonus to its weapon art as well as its physical attacks. Now I'm going to show you guys what I mean about the damage negation buff you're also going to be receiving with the damage buff from Golden Vow. So if we take a look at our defense and damage negation window here to our right, here are the values pre-Golden Vow, and here are the values after we activate Golden Vow. As you can see, you got an increase there. So from the research I've done regarding the damage negation buff, it looks to be a 7.5 to all values with the diminishing returns. Not sure if that's 100% accurate. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments down below, but that's the best data that I have to go off of. A quick jump cut later, let's go ahead and take a look at the damage increase we're going to get with Golden Vow active. First, we're going to hit our favorite friend here, the bird, with a Ranni's Dark Mood and see the base damage we're going to be applying, 2,476. So let's go ahead and quickly reset, and then let's go ahead and put Golden Vows active, and then see what the damage we're going to be dealing now is going to be. Activating Golden's Vow, and falling to my death. Classic. Alright, let's try that again. Activating Golden Vow, and this time hopefully not falling to my death. Perfect. So let's check out the damage we're going to be dealing with this Dark Moon. 2,724, so you saw the increase in damage there. While it's not going to go ahead and give us that increased damage like Royal Knight's Resolve and Determination provided, it's still a darn good damage increase with the damage negation buffs as well. So overall, a great replacement now that Royal Knight's Resolve and Determination have been patched. Moving along, I did want to address the undocumented nerf that Moonveil received yesterday with patch 1.03 to its poise damage, basically requiring us to do a bit more heavy attacks with its weapon art to get an enemy into their crit state. For an example, usually this enemy here used to take about 2 heavy attacks with Moonveil to get to its critical state. Now, as you can see, it requires 1 more extra heavy attack, and this is pretty consistent. Let's go ahead and go over to this enemy as well, and you can see here we're going to require 3 heavy attacks with its heavy weapon art before we can go ahead and get this enemy into that critical state where we can go ahead and land that critical hit. We'll do one more example here just to let you guys, holy shit, he's still alive? So you guys are unhappy with the changes to the Moonveil, and you don't want to be a Moonveil user anymore. Well, I have a great alternative in the Dark Moon Greatsword, because it also scales with intelligence and dex as well. Please discount the Radicon Sword Seal here. I just had to equip this to show you guys what this weapon can do because I don't have enough strength, and I will respec and also get this to +10 to test it out a bit more on my end. But with a little bit of testing that I have played around with earlier today, it actually feels really good. The downside being it is a little bit slower of a weapon, so you'll have to get used to that. Its weapon art is the Moonlight Greatsword, and I'll show you what that is right here. So once you use it, you're going to have pretty damn nasty range attacks that will stagger enemies, depending on their poise, better than the Moonveil does. It takes about 2 slashes here, as opposed to Moonveil's 3 for the same enemy as I'm going to show here. And as you can see, once you activate the weapon art and use the heavy attacks, it will not consume any FP, so that is a great bonus. And just like with Moonveil, Golden Vow will work on it, and just like with Moonveil, Terra Magicus will work on it as well. So let's go ahead and showcase it really quickly with the same enemies. We'll go ahead and activate its weapon art, go to the enemy here, and launch our 2 attacks. Now you do want to be a little bit careful with this because it is a slow projectile and some enemies will go ahead and dodge out of the way, but you can see there it only took 2 of the heavy attacks, and just like with Moonveil post nerf, it went ahead and staggered the enemy. I do love my jump cuts, but this is very important because I did want to address one more thing about our gear. While we're still rocking our Snow Witch hat and our Snow Witch robe, Daniel commented on my previous video and he said, "Love the build, my only critique would be getting some gloves that have better drip, 8 out of 8 would rate." Well, Daniel, I hope the Fire Prelate gauntlets, and I also updated my boots to the Fire Prelate greaves, satisfies your drip rating and will still rate this 8 out of 8. Because honestly, I think it looks pretty damn good with the Snow Witch set. Let me know in the comments below. Now, before I go ahead and show you guys where to get the Golden Vow Ash of War, I did want to quickly talk about the one spell I have changed in my rotation, and that is I replaced Loretta's Great Bow with Stars of Ruin. While Loretta's Great Bow also received a FP reduction buff yesterday with patch 1.03, in my opinion, Stars of Ruin received the best buff overall if we're talking about how much FP it used to cost versus what it costs now. It went from 50 FP all the way to 38. I was already using this spell prior to the buff, and now there's no reason not to use this spell if you already have it because it has amazing tracking not only in PvP but for PvE as well. Great range and really good cast time. You can also charge this if you'd like as well. However, I find that in scenarios where enemies are W keying you, it's better not to charge so you don't get staggered. My recommendation is if you're not using Stars of Ruin, go ahead and add it to the build and see how you like. But remember, Stars of Ruin, Rock Sling, Comet Azure, and Terra Magicus are going to be your flex spells. The only core spells we require for this build is Glinstone Icecrag, Adula's Moonblade, and Ranni's Dark Moon. Alright guys, to get your Golden Vow, we're going to go ahead and start at the War Master's Shack Grace. If you don't have this unlocked, you can easily get there from Gatefront, as well as Agil Lake North, basically just following this path, taking a right here, and then getting to the War Master's Shack. Then we're going to go ahead and go under the bridge and up on this little hill area where you're going to run into the Mounted Knight. And once you defeat him, he's going to go ahead and drop that Ash of War. So once you arrive here, go ahead and take care of this enemy. If you are a little bit lower level, I would just recommend staying on your horseback and firing a lot of spells. But I've already killed him, so he's not going to drop another Golden Vow Ash of War. But once you go ahead and take care of this guy, Bob's your uncle. You got your Golden Vow Ash of War, equip it to a dagger, and you're all set. Thanks as always, guys, for enjoying my content. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. And as always, catch me on my Twitch at twitch.tv/PlayDober for when I am live. And until the next one, I'll see you later.